Morning. I'm good, Andrew. How are you today?
I'm alright now, not too bad. I feel like I actually had a decent sleep last night. Woohoo! Go me!
Good. I was wide awake at 12:30. Wide awake. So I don't know what time I went to sleep. One, maybe?
Right,
Quite
okay. Had
tired.
had you watched something?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, I don't think I told you this at all, but I kind of have a new little addiction.
All right.
Yeah, it's kind of a dirty one, like
Oh,
thick. Selling
nice.
Sunset.
Oh my God, that show.
Yeah,
Um,
love it.
my friend is obsessed with it. He is a man in his late 30s, and he cannot stop talking about that King show.
Yeah,
He loves
yeah,
it.
it's
Yeah.
good. So good. Although most interested in them selling houses, actually, not all the bitching and stuff, but it's very addictive. It's so silly, kind of, it just goes from one episode to the next.
Yeah,
You don't
but still,
know.
it's a nice way to switch off, isn't it? Just to
Yeah.
forget about everything because it's brain
If you
candy,
haven't
isn't it? So
haven't seen it, it's about a bunch of really hot women selling really hot houses. Like
the
unbelievable.
houses are ridiculous for stupid money as well, aren't they?
There was one last night, and they were putting it on the market for $75 million.
As you do.
And I'm always thinking to myself, the only person I know now who could afford that house would be your one in Limerick who won the Euro Millions.
Dolores, yeah. Jesus, you're
Dolores.
probably
But then,
right.
like, she's only barely able to afford some of them. Like, so I'm just like, who are these? Who are these people?
Who are these
And these
people exactly? Yeah.
kind of women, maybe my age or even younger, and they just come in. They're just like, yeah, I'm just looking for just a little place just to set up on my own, and they'll be spending 4 or 5 million on a house, and they won't have any
Yeah.
mortgage or anything. They just cash ready to go. And I'm just like, what do they do for a living? Genuinely, low. What's their
But
work?
do you ever look at some of the houses that are sold on that show then and kind of go, hang on, that's worth 10 million. That looks like any house you'd find in any estate in Ireland. 10 million, what?
No, these are
Bit of an exaggeration, but like the one or two episodes I've seen, there was a house sold once, and I think it was for about 6.5 million. It went for,
yeah, yeah,
and I was there thinking to myself, really? It's not particularly big. It was only a three-bedroom.
yeah. No, it's
It did have a
like Dublin,
pool, all
you
right,
know.
but what?
It's like Dublin. It's the land, It's just
Yeah,
where it is.
it's selling Sunset, Elaine.
It's selling sunset. Anyway, listen, away from all that. You're good today, are you?
All good, yeah, and it's a lovely morning outside. You can see the sun is going in the window here. It's yeah, lovely start, lovely morning, blue skies. The bad news is that'll only last till around lunchtime, and we're going to see further showers in places later on today. But at least it's a good start. Temperatures of about 16, 17, or 18 again in places today.
Your hair is lovely, by the way.
Thanks very much. Yeah, got a haircut yesterday. I'll be going back to the new barber man. He did a good job.
Yeah, he did a very good job. Yep. Now, listen, papers today. Right. Okay, so despite what's going on very close to us in Limerick, there was a lot of talk yesterday about huge number of cases over the past 2 or 3 weeks in Limerick. And despite what happened over the weekend with lots and lots of people out socialising, we're still on target, is the headline in the Irish Daily Mail today. Ireland remains on target to lift restrictions in July as our COVID situation does indeed remain stable. The Chief Medical Officer, Tony Holohan, confirmed this last night, but then he also warned that if people move ahead of the reopening by getting together in crowds, it could put our progress at risk. So that's a big story on the front page of the Irish Daily Mail. Staff celebrating at Fota Island Resort in Cork. Beautiful spot and one of the many hotels, hundreds of hotels across the country that reopened yesterday. And we're open at last is the headline there, and best of luck to all the hotels. And what the changes to the property tax bans mean for you. There's more on that. That was also the front pages yesterday. More on that today in the Irish Daily Mail. And there we go again. Dr. Michael Mosley's Eat Less and Still Feel Full. Beat the diabetes time bomb. That's also in the Daily Mail this morning.
The Examiner on the front page this morning leads with borrow 5 billion a year to tackle housing. That's the main headline there. The government has been urged to borrow €5 billion more each year to solve the housing crisis amid fears prices and rents will soar as the economy looks set to boom. In the latest ESRI reports, the state's finances are robust enough to allow it to invest big in social housing. And also on the front page there this morning, you mentioned about Limerick there. COVID outbreak at Midwest Salon resulted in 50 close contacts. The HSE Midwest are currently investigating 50 cases linked to more than than 20 workplaces in the region, with the vast majority of which are all in Limerick. An outbreak at a salon in the midwest of the country resulted in more than 50 close contacts, according to the front page of the Examiner there as well this morning, which is quite worrying. And I think, as of now, Limerick has the highest incidence rate in the country, actually. So not good news for Limerick there, of course, which is only just over the border from us here. But that's in the Examiner this morning.
The Kevin Lunny kidnapping is on the front page of the Irish Sun today. Resign or be killed is the awful headline there. A group of men told Quinn Industrial Holdings chief Kevin Lunny that they'd kill him if he didn't resign. The Special Criminal Court heard this yesterday. Also on the front page of the Irish Sun today, and that's the story. Liam Gallagher's daughter, Molly, she's a model and an influencer. She is apparently dating a Liverpool player, Nathaniel Phillips. So don't know what Liam thinks of this. He's a big City fan, am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's also on the front page of the Irish Sun today. And oh dear, did you ever think there'd be a day when the cops would be called to Nathan Carter's house?
I know, I saw this headline yesterday.
I kind of wondered if this is just made up to try to make Nathan Carter a bit more rock and roll than he actually is. But Nathan in big trouble. I'm sorry for COVID breach birthday bash, he says. Gardaí had to be called to his house. He turned, we mentioned him on the birthday book, was it last week, Andrew?
Yeah, he was Monday, was it?
Was it Monday? Okay.
No, sorry, last week. It was probably last Friday or something. Yeah, you're right, actually.
Well, according to the papers today, including the Sun, Gardaí called to his house. A total of 15 COVID fines have been doled out in total. But Nathan was one of those people. Friday night, they had to call to his house. 31st birthday bash was being celebrated. 50 people, 50, were present in his home at the time. And just 6 people from 2 households are currently allowed to meet up indoors. So that didn't go down too well, and he's had to issue a grovelling apology. This is the worst part of it. Nathan then said in a statement, my family visiting from Liverpool had organised it.
Oh, right, okay. So they've actually come from a different country, which is...
That just made it sound really bad. But anyway, so that's also the front page of the Sun this morning.
And the Independent, more about the property tax than revenue and property tax crackdown on low home valuations by homeowners. Owners have found that if they've undervalued their properties, they'll have to pay backdated property tax with interest. So if revenue find that your home has been undervalued on purpose, you may have to pay more money. And spending on flights trebles as people plan post-pandemic trips. Airline tickets expenditure was up by 192% in May when compared to April, according to the latest Revolut spending report. Those aged over 55 spent more on flights in what's being labelled as a vaccination bounce. So July 19th is when we'll be able to start flying out again on holidays. Well, at the moment anyway, that's the plan. And yeah, people have been booking flights to get out of here. That's in the Independent this morning as well.
I know Deirdre had an interesting conversation last week about that, about the fact that some people were like, yay, we're going on holidays. And then they realised that perhaps the kids would need COVID tests. And then they started to tot up what it would cost for the children who won't be vaccinated by then.
We're not going on holiday.
Yeah. Oh, or else we're leaving Timmy and Annie behind us.
Yeah.
So it starts to get very expensive for people. So we'll see.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, what was it? The PCR test was up to 189 quid. Let's call that the bones of €200. And then the antigen test was 90 quid. So another €100, let's call it. So yeah, if you've got 3 or 4 kids, and it was over the age of 6, so 3 or 4 kids, it adds up, like, because then you have to do yourself as well. So it could be, yeah.
I think if you're vaccinated, you're okay. You see, I think this is the problem. People were like, yeah, we'll all be vaccinated by then. It'll be perfect. But then they were like, the kids won't be. So
just leave them behind. They'll be fine.
Yeah, the little shits, leave them behind.
Give them pizza money and leave them there. They'll be grand.
Yeah. That happens in movies. It always works out okay.
Always works out okay. Absolutely. Yeah.
Now, some of the top trends that we're waking to this Thursday morning. Documentary on RT last night, Dear Gay, all about some memorable Gay Byrne radio moments, and his family also speaking about him. So a lot of people chatting about that. I didn't see it. Did you see any of that, Andrew? I was busy watching.
I didn't actually. No, I missed it.
No. Okay, sorry, Gay. I'm going to watch some of that later, I think. And Trump, the blog is gone. It didn't last very long, Andrew.
I'd say there was no one, so I did click onto it to see what it was like. So what was it called? From the desk of Donald Trump or something like that. and basically it was his tweets. That's what he was basically tweeting, except he's not on Twitter. So it was they were calling it his own social media thing, but it was a blog. But it didn't last very long. It's gone. So they said it won't be coming back either. I wonder, was that just that there was nobody clicking on it, and they were like, this is a waste of time. So I don't know.
He's a good example of, and I'm saying this with no disrespect to him. He's a very good example of how your yesterday's news very, very quickly.
Absolutely, yeah.
No, people
Yeah.
aren't that interested in him now. I mean, could you ever envisage that? I mean, in the last few years, could you ever have said, "Yeah, no, he'll be old news soon. He's probably going to do something mad now to get back in the news." Just when I said that, but
Probably,
uh,
yeah.
yeah, if nobody was reading that, imagine like 6 months ago if he'd had that blog or whatever, it would have been a totally different story. But
I totally agree with you. Yeah. So Era, look,
leave him
as
off.
you said, I'm sure he'll appear on the news again sometime soon for something, media attention and all that. Billie Eilish is trending as well this morning. Her new video was released last night for Lost Cause. I haven't seen it, but a lot of reaction to that online this morning. And Trent is trending. Trent is trending. Trent Alexander-Arnold. A lot of controversy this week. Should he be included in the England squad? He was included in the England squad. He got injured last night, and it looks like he'll miss the Euros. So the poor guy limped off in the England
Oh,
friendly game last night. So he's also trending this morning as well.
that is really tough, isn't it?
Yeah, what are we, eight
Horrible.
days out? What? My maths is yes, 8 days out. I have to try and work that out there in my head. Yeah, tomorrow week they start the Euros.
Poor
So
guy.
yeah, the poor guy. Yeah, disaster.
Yeah. Right, listen, we've got a busy show. We're on air in what, 2 minutes time, and we've got another busy one with lots of good music coming up between now and 9 o'clock this morning. So do join us on Radio Kerry. You can comment here, or once we get the show underway in a couple of minutes, you can text us or WhatsApp us with your request today.
Enjoy your Thursday, and we'll talk to you in a few minutes. Good luck.
Talk to you soon. Bye bye.